recording. What is up, YouTube? It is Nisi here. I'm here with a Y, aka Austin. He wants to know how to play some Jack's top, try to carry some games basically by split pushing, right? You would agree? Pretty much macro play style. We're gonna focus on that. Hopefully, it's not too laggy when it loads up. And yeah, we're gonna go through this game and go through the pros and cons. This lesson might be a little bit shorter, YouTube, because we're gonna probably do a dynamic queue game after this. So I'm gonna keep this lesson within that 30-minute range, hopefully. But you know, whatever, it should still be good. There should be a lot of good info here. So you're facing, looks like, what, Aurelia top? Okay.
Yep.
This is kind of a interesting matchup. Whoever beats... It's very snowbally. Whoever's beaten who is pretty much winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's kind of how I view it.
That feels.
But Jax and Aurelia are pretty much meta right now. That and Alawi. I'm not really sure where Alawi stands versus like Jax and Aurelia quite yet. I haven't experienced... Like, I consider those like the trifecta right now in top. Like the more like competitively standard tops. So, I would imagine in this matchup, you'll see if you're able to find good windows for your stun, find good opportunities to engage, and farm up. You're going to outscale Aurelia. That's not debatable, in my opinion. Jax crushes Aurelia late game. At least in my experience. So I notice you're pushing the lane right away. Let's talk about why first.
Okay.
Why are we doing that?
So there, I'm trying to build up my passive for the E-cheese. I've been reading about how people do that, generally like first blood people.
Yeah, this is good. This is really good. Oh, and you ignited.
Yeah, generally I can get a kill that way, but I needed one more auto. I was trying to build up my passive.
You may want to, if we back that up, you may want to just like flash auto just to be safe. No,
Yeah,
never mind. You would have died.
There.
You would have died. So you were just inside turret range. So it's just kind of unlucky, whatever. So you went with you're going for the ignite cheese, which I had you doing teleport earlier today. Here's the thing, okay? In my experience, buddy, I would probably just try to win without the ignite. Because if you fall behind and fail your cheese, you're going to lose so many levels. And Jax, I think, auto wins late game by splitting, as long as you keep your levels up. So I don't think... It's kind of like the Tryndamere for me, is where I feel like you don't have to cheese until you're much higher elo.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It almost sounds opposite of what I would normally say. But I feel like you're going to win so many games just by farming and getting big. You played the game earlier today, and guys on YouTube that, you know, aren't familiar with what I'm talking about when I say the other game, we did some dynamic queue earlier today. There's a lot of split pushing going on. We won like a 4v5 basically. And a lot of it was just because I was micromanaging with a Y here with some split pushing in the game. We're doing the Boost Day Tuesday stuff. And basically what it comes down to is if you fail your cheese, you're going to fall behind in XP and you're just going to be gimped. And I don't think that's a risk that we need to take. Okay?
That makes sense.
We don't have to go for that. And I truly believe you can win without that type of... See, you're going to find spots anyways without the ignite. And that's going to allow you to snowball harder. So, first tip. As soon as that wave crashes, look around the map. This isn't Gangplank, you're Jax. You can actually do shit with teleports. Now, there's no teleport here, right? But... Don't just think, oh, I got a kill, and that's awesome. Think, how can I get more kills? Okay? So, right away... Oh, my shit's, like, glitching. Hold on, I'm going to turn off Discord because it's bugging. You still hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
So, make sure you're looking constantly with Jax. He's a pretty good teleport flanker because of the stun jump. If you get behind people with wards, you're going to have some free kills. But you don't have it there. So, I'm just throwing that out there. As soon as the wave crashes, as a top laner... You know, if you have a window, try to find it. You know, try to get your lead going elsewhere. A good thing about top lane is if you can take a quick lead in your lane and then teleport and get a lead in another lane and then back and go right back to top, you've pretty much won the fucking game at that point. So you've built boots. Weird. That's weird. Why?
So I've seen a couple of people do couple different things. I don't know. I watched this guy go grasp, and he opted to build like Doran's items if he didn't have that much gold.
Okay, if you're gonna build Doran's items, you might as well build fucking Doran's blade. You just killed the guy, right?
Yeah, I just thought the autos might.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. You should think, I got the kill, I'm winning, I build more damage until I'm no longer winning.
Okay.
That's how you play Jax. Jax is just a stomper. I would also recommend, let me see, I had Flame here, he's pretty good. Okay, Flame does Fervor. We had a challenger land Jax who's going Thunderlords. Yeah, you're going Grasp in this replay?
Oh, no, I'm Fervor.
Okay, Fervor's good. I like Fervor. That's a really good option, and I was going to figure, I was like, if you just killed him doing Grasp, that's fucking crazy. But yeah, you should probably build damage. And honestly, at that point, you're going like Triforce or whatever. Just build towards Triforce. Once you've got that kill, just build towards Triforce. Doesn't hurt you at all. Get like a Stinger or something and whoop some ass.
What you get? Ask about that.
What?
What would be the first thing to kind of go for?
If you can't finish Sheen, then you should just build some attack speed.
Okay.
I would think would make sense. Attack speed or maybe towards Phage, because then you at least get some health stats in there.
Right.
And the move speed once you finish Phage. Basically, I would like Sheen. I think you could have afforded Sheen on that. No, you couldn't have. Okay. So, if you can buy Sheen after kill, I like Sheen a lot, because it just allows you to jump in and just destroy someone. And knock them out of lane with like one combo. They're pretty much done. Your last hitting's good here. I have no problem with this. You have your flash. You have your ignite coming up. You're farming pretty well. I like that. You got the good mechanics down. I like how you're using the Q to secure the farm. This is really good, dude. This bodes well for you as a player farming like this. Except for that, yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's good.
Yeah.
Seriously, you should feel really good about that every time. Like, you need to get like a fucking dog getting a treat, dude. You should just feel so thrilled for yourself when you're hitting farm well. That's a big part of the game. I was yelling at subs earlier today because they abandoned the fundamentals. So this is good. I like how you try to keep the trade short. He goes and re-engages, and you whoop his ass a little bit. Nice, and that's a good kill. And you know, see how easy this is gonna be for you in lane. I mean, okay, you're using Ignite there, which I don't think you can stay with Ignite, by the way. I just don't think you need to do it to win lanes.
No, if I lose those early, that level 1,
you're going to have better people than this Aurelia. You're going to have better people than this Aurelia facing you in the top lane, like I can assure you.
Yeah.
And Jax isn't technically a lane bully versus a lot of lanes. He kind of gets pooped on in a lot of lanes early on until you start accumulating items. And then you come on strong. Alright, so let's fast forward here. Let's get you back in the lane. So you're building towards your Triforce now. I like the Sheen buy. That's good. I would be definitely going towards Triforce, trying to get that as soon as possible. Good trade. You have Kindred being super annoying. You definitely could have froze the lane towards your side if you wanted there. Just FYI. You do know that's an option, right?
Yes. Yeah,
okay, that's a good all-in.
I wanted to get that. I don't know.
Well, hold on. Let's think about that. Did you really need the flash for it? That's my question.
No, definitely not.
See, this is the thing, right? So we're looking to carry the game. I mean, you can dumpster him and flash on him and make him want to kill himself or whatever. That's all well and good. But like, look at this. Look at the way that the wave's set up right now. Think. Okay, do you know Dota at all?
No, I don't really.
Okay, in Dota you can deny minions. So like, you could have these minions here, and they get low, and you deny them, and you deny the gold from your opponent, right? When you do that, your minions. Like, you can basically last hit your own minions. Okay. In League, the only way that you can last hit your own minions is by allowing them to push. So I would be comfortable here by telling you, since you know that Aurelia's kind of screwed right now, you can just, like, make her have to back and... Or basically, you make her stay and make her just lose a fuck ton of farm. Or you do what you did, which is, like, burn flash. So, like, you see how you're, like, attacking the minions? You can just back down here. You see this? You just back down, let this wave crash to here. And then you could just zone, because she can never fight you. So anytime she gets too close, you can just threaten to jump in. You just walk at her and threaten to jump in. You've seen me play like Gangplank and do that before, right? Where I like
Yep.
set the barrel and like zone them off. It's a pretty good option early on because you're not going to really shred this turret anytime soon yet. You know what I mean? It's still
Yeah,
early.
gotta
This
need
is
Triforce.
this is the strongest turret in the game. So the early turrets are the strongest. So getting them down early is all well and good, but I mean until you get items, it's going to take forever to kill them, anyways. So once you get these opportunities to zone someone off some CS, it's an option. I don't say you have to do it. I'm just saying it's an option. It's depending on what you're trying to accomplish. So with Aurelia, if you keep her, like if you keep the wave here and you create a nice little freeze, she gets stuck in this position where like in order to even get farm, she's like within kill range. But you don't even have to burn flash. You can just keep walking at her until she gets too close and makes a mistake. And then that way you can keep your flash for a more important target, and you can gimp her without wasting your flash. So I would have liked seeing a freeze there sometimes. Not every time, but just I want you to know it's a real option, and I want you to execute it sometimes to see how it plays out in different spots.
Okay.
Because I think what you could do is you could create a situation where, all right, let's just say that she does have her teleport up. We can see that it's not up, right? If you force her to back by setting up a freeze, you will force her to use her teleport and play right into your freeze again. So she'll have to back, burn a summoner, and then you could probably just 1v1 her anyways, even after she backs, because you're so far ahead of her because you're running Ignite. Like, you want to strangle out. When you're running Ignite, you really want to strangle people, is basically long story short. Plus, there's a lot of guys that'll do Ignite like Boxer Pete. It's very, very important when you're running Ignite to try to manage these scenarios in lane. So, something to think about with Ignite, too. Because you have kill potential with Ignite, so once you get that lead, you might as well make it worse. Because you see, you're just giving her... Look at all this position. See the space that you're not using?
Yep.
You could use all that space. Not that killing her is terrible, and I like that you're being decisive there. You seem way more decisive in this game than you did in our game earlier today. Maybe just nervous or what, but you seem like you're going to town in this one.
For now.
For now. Alright. Looks like you're trying to freeze here, actually. That's good.
Yeah, and I kind of let it push a little bit and freeze it further down.
Yeah, now see all the space you get to work with now is very, very good. Because you create basically an unwinnable scenario. Where you just jump on her head and she gets too close. And look, she's just not getting any farm. Alright, so Hecarim's coming in. Alright, playing in a perfect world. This is more of, you kind of have to be a genius to know this type of gank is coming. Because you don't really know. You can't know. You know what I mean? You can't know that he's there, really. What I would tell you, though, is one thing about top is the more that you play and the more experience you get with the lane, the more you can anticipate stuff like this happening a lot of the time. I make this mistake, and I've been playing this game for years now, but the reality is you haven't seen Hecarim anywhere. Even though there's a fight going on down here, you still haven't seen Hecarim, right?
Yep.
So, you can assume, for the time being, that he's probably somewhere around you. And even though your team's a bunch of shitters and they're losing right now, 3v3, or I guess this is 4v3 technically, right? Yeah. Until you see Hecarim, jungler's not on the map, so you might want to be a little scared. This is the stage of the game, too, where top laners like to get frisky, or junglers like to get frisky and dive top lanes because, Dragon's up, and it's they can either be dragon or be diving you. That's kind of how this goes. This is the stage of the game right now. Hecarim's level 6 already, level 7. So here, all you're really trying to do, if you jumped away, did you have your ward?
I should have if I've been freezing.
Yeah, so I hadn't seen you ward hop in our game either earlier. So I think you could have actually gotten out of that. mechanically. Not that I harp on mechanics too often on these lessons, because I think it's just you get better as it goes.
Yeah.
But like if you look at it, watch. So you make the right play, where you like do that shit. You hit the stun. Now look, your shit. Oh, it was just on cooldown. Okay.
Yeah. That sucks.
So yeah, it's one of those things as a top laner. I mean, if you're not even scared of him ganking you, you can definitely just jump in without putting too much effort into your thought process. But you got to remember when you're trying to carry games, I want you taking decisive risks. But as you climb, just remember that sometimes those risks will run into those spots if you're not thinking about it. So if you have suspicions, and you could very easily have a suspicion that he's somewhere around here, just because you haven't seen him anywhere else on the map. That's how you know, by the way. So you basically would check. You'd be like, who's fighting down there? The junglers down there? Oh, we can go in. You know what I mean? That's when you can be really greedy with your aggression. But when you don't see him, then maybe you should just kind of fake aggression and see if you pull the jungler out of a bush. Like you walk at him like you're going to jump in, then he comes out and you just jump back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because you also have the added... Oh my god, your team's so bad here. I will give you that. Your team is very bad in this game. But it is a carryable game, I think. Depending on how you play it. Now, other thing about Ignite, if you die, it kind of sucks. Good news is here, Relia didn't push lane, so you're not missing that much. It's pretty much break even. But you're going to lose Dragon. But back on my talk about faking aggression, one thing you have to remember about these freezes is that if you don't know where the jungler is, those little fakes are a really nice move to figure out what the hell is going on with their jungler. So if you got to understand what they see. They see you walking over the line and being aggressive. Aurelia's scared shitless, okay? Even if the jungler's there, the dude's scared shitless. He's like, oh god, you know, here it comes. So the jungler's thinking that too, most likely. If the jungler's sitting in this brush and you're like here, whatever, the jungler's gonna have to show. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to counter your engage.
Yeah.
So just walking and faking that you're gonna jump in, just trying to like test the water and find people, maybe drop a ward here, test the water. Like you can inch your way forward and solve whether or not you're getting ganked just by keeping an eye on the minimap and using the fact that you've created that freeze to your advantage. The other thing you got to remember, if you survive those types of camps, those weird lane ganks, if you survive those, dude, you've like crushed your lane. So I really want you analyzing if you can do it on the fly. If you can analyze like mini maps and count heads and shit as you're playing. That's a big, like, you come out ahead on those types of ganks where you don't get killed. That's just such a huge win for your team. Now, obviously your team sucks this game, but that gives them a big chance, you know what I mean? Because that means that Hecarim wasted his time top, didn't get a kill, didn't get any extra gold, and you created a power play on the opposite side of the map by doing that. Okay. Such a goofy battle every time. Okay, I would clear out here. That's good that you didn't stay on the turret. Jump to a minion maybe in back. It's an option. This is a long game, so maybe I'll speed up the review here.
Oh, that's fine.
Alright, so Aurelia's still getting in a line. Now, you have your pink ward. Now, when she does that, when she makes that trade, you need to know that a gank's top.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Hecarim must be coming.
You need to know. And it's not that she played aggressive. It's that I've been watching this replay with you now for 15, 20 minutes or whatever. And I'm telling you, she hasn't made that move this whole time, right? She has not played that way at all. That pretty much tells you. Now here, you need to analyze 2v2 before it comes. What I would be thinking is, as I'm stepping into this, I would check and see if Kindred has ult. I doubt you did that. You need to think, is she probably going to ult here? Okay, and sometimes your teammates are noobs and they won't. But she obviously ults, right? So now, you just come in, counter the dive or whatever, and then you're good to go. Here, you should be shoving the lane because you just saw Hecarim ult away, and you know that Aurelia is dead for 20, and you want to try to like push this to the turret and then get the fuck out of the way. because odds are she's going to teleport or have to walk there. So I want you doing that in those skirmishes. That's good. You took the turret. That's good. You didn't have to, once you've taken the turret, by the way,
Okay.
you don't have to attack those minions. You can just walk away there. Do you understand why?
Yeah, kind of.
Bouncing the wave. Okay, so what you want to do here, when you're coming up to the turret, the ideal scenario, and I really want you, every fucking thing, it needs to be analyzed by you, okay? I may not do, I may not talk it out loud on my stream all the time, but I'm thinking it, all right? So here, look at the wave, look at these minions here. There's nothing stopping you. You don't need to get this all out of the way, right? Like, no one can kill you. We can both agree without any debate that you can die in this position, right? The worst case scenario is that LeBlanc comes up with Ignite and tries to, I don't know, 100-0 you. But it's never going to fucking happen. We just saw Hecarim run away with his ult, so he's not coming, and Aurelia's leaving base. So we know that we're free to take this, right? We can both agree?
Yep.
Okay, so what you need to be doing is as you're taking this turret down, you're going to time it in such a way so that these creeps fall at the last second. So you're going to get these, you're going to try to get both of these creeps dead. That's denying. Okay, we're denying. We're Dota 2 now, boys, okay? So we're getting these creeps out. That's XP that no one gets. Remember that, okay? No one gets that XP. If you let the turret shoot those, no one gets that XP. So, let's assume that you did it right and that you let both these minions die before you finished off the turret, okay? So you basically use the health bars of the minions, make sure that the turret shoots those minions, and then take the turret down. Then you run away. If you do that, what's going to happen is, now notice you attack that creep. That's not what I want you to do. If you did that, the minions build up here. This minion's gone, right? If we played it right. That would be 6 minions to 6, except these minions are already grouped and they're towards this side of the map, right?
Yep.
That means that the wave is naturally going to be pushing towards you now. If you shove this wave like that, and you clear all these minions out, like you're doing, this is fine, but I'm trying to get you thinking in, like, the most, like, perfectly efficient ways, okay? If you leave right there, and leave those minions there, Aurelia's in a really shitty spot. So you can do all sorts of stupid shit. You're at level 11, okay? And she's level 9. So if you let the minions there and walk away, look at all this stupid shit you can do. You can back, and she has to push from here, okay? So now the wave's coming to you again for sure, as opposed to her freezing the lane right here, right? Imagine if I was playing Gangplank on the other team, for example, okay? And you've beat my ass, right? And you've got the lane in this position. But you shove that next wave, I go, okay, and I freeze it right here on this line, and I make it so you have to expose yourself all the way out here every time. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Does this all make sense to you?
That makes perfect sense.
Okay, now you can go into the brush and go back home and come back up. Or you can go into the brush, walk around, come around right here to this tri-brush. Now, this is warded, but, it's going to die eventually. The wave's stuck here, right? So what do you get to do? If she goes to try to push this wave, leaving base, you just walk out of the bush and say, "What up, bitch?" and you kill her again.
I like that.
You see? You can come up with... Basically, I'm creating a scenario where she either pushes the lane and you meet it, and then she can't freeze, or she sits here and you re-gank your own lane because you have flash, and she probably doesn't because you've been shitting on her. And you're 2 levels ahead. There's no way she beats you, even if she has items right now.
Okay.
Because she's just getting absolutely crushed. And we really want to... If we can tilt somebody, these are the little steps that will create that. So I want you really analyzing that, those types of situations. Like, if you can make the turret kill minions for free, you should definitely take advantage of that. Because that's dead XP that no one collects.
Okay.
But see, she's stupid, and she pushed anyways. Right? She pushed it anyways without thinking, and then she just backs. You have the option, if you want, as you're running up. These are all little things that you can think about. So notice, this is clearly pushing to you, right?
Yep.
See how many
Pretty sure I
minions?
freeze it here again.
You don't have to freeze it. What I'm saying is, as you're coming up top, look at your jungle. You can take these camps while you're coming up. You're trying to carry, first of all. My lessons are about trying to carry the game. This jungler's not going to fucking bitch at you for taking, like, a Gromp or something, okay? He's not. They might. Like, every fucking 10 games, someone might. But I would have went, where's Aurelia here? I would let all these minions die. Remember, we can deny these creeps, right? If we let this wave take these creeps out, who gets that XP? No one gets the XP. So now we go out of base, we leave base, run to wolves, take that, run to Gromp, take that, hit our turret, and guess what? This whole wave's here. This wave's dead. Blue creeps are dead. Red creeps coming towards the turret. Collect all that farm. We just denied Aurelia another 6 minions. All gold, all XP. Watch what you do. Okay, you actually do freeze it. I didn't see that. Interesting.
I was trying to balance it right there.
No, you're good. You're good. I was thinking that you're going to push it because I've seen you push it a bunch. But just remember that what I was telling you allows you to get even more fed because you would have taken wolves, taken Gromp, and then you catch the wave. See what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, that's...
But that's still good that you elected to freeze. Well, actually, that's not necessarily good here, though, that you wanted to freeze. The reason being is because Aurelia is, like, running around the map. This is the stage of the game where you kind of have to start using your lead and pressuring the turrets. But I would be scared going top. So probably, if I were you, I probably would have did what I said. I probably would have looked at top, saw the wave coming, and went, all right, I'm going wolves, I'm going Gromp, I'm gonna collect this wave here. And then from there, I'm thinking, I don't think I can take this tier 2 versus Hecarim and Aurelia yet. So I would probably try to work my way towards bottom and try to either help my team 2v3 bottom or try to get them to go top and then just 2v1 down here for a bit.
Okay.
So what happens is now Aurelia's roaming around because she can't lane because you're freezing it or whatever. And that's all well and good. And you do pick up a kill, which is cool. I don't mind that. And you keep the freeze. So you're basically just like gimping her. Now, when she's gone, this is good that you're... Yeah, at least you've realized and adapted here. You need to catch that next wave. Why aren't you pushing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm duoed with this Malzahar, and
He
I'm
wants
pretty
help.
sure I was thinking I'm going to help my buddy out.
Oh, that's fine. Just remember, though, you're not punishing anyone here by leaving that there. What you're creating a scenario where you've basically allowed the wave to build for them. Instead of, I'm going to push this all the way to turret first. There's no point of going down here. That's gone. Right?
Yeah,
No matter what you do, and you need to be able to... She's an idiot for not securing it, first of all. But she should secure it since she's already there, and she's pretty much suicided for it anyways, right? She's not going to get away. See, she would have had it. So you might as well just assume that it's gone, shove this all the way to turret, and then roam down. Or, alternatively, shove this to turret, walk through the jungle, take their red, take their raptors, and then look to pick someone off in the bushes here. Make sense?
Yes, sir. That's perfect. Yeah, even more farm. So.
Yep, more farm, bigger, and you are again denying shit constantly. I mean, I see you trying to freeze, so you're obviously thinking about that, but you're not thinking about it in terms of like, I just left the wave here.
Right.
I want to get this all the way to the turret. Unless you have a fucking like I always tell top laners, like unless you have some sort of massive flank that's going to get you a double kill, you need to stay the fuck top. Especially when you're playing this guy. Because, I mean, this is what he does, man. All the challenger jack, they just split, dude. They don't fucking group, like, ever, I'm telling you. I promise you. They won't. They will split until they are blue in the face, dude. And it's because it works. It's so hard to defend. It's so annoying. But look, see this? All that money, you're denying yourself money. You see that?
Yep.
It's just all going because you didn't push it to the turret first. You pushed to the turret there. It would bounce back, and then you'd be good. Look at Aurelia, just do. She gets to catch back up.
Right.
Do 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 do. I go for tier 2 and then die and don't get it. Do do do. But she's happy. That was all. By the way, I really want to hammer that home. That was all farm that she should have missed.
Okay.
Because she was, you know, she died. Now, and it's funny, I'm being really hard on you, and it's funny because you're like 6-1, so it's easy to think that like I'm playing great, right?
Right.
But there's a lot of things. All right, so let's see here. I need to see like how you got to that spot. So you didn't push the wave. You like killed the Relia or whatever the fuck happened. I'm confused why you wound up where you wound up.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So you go down, you're like, I'm gonna kill this LeBlanc. I think you missed your auto there. I would be willing to bet that you have a lot of unspent gold. Yes. Okay, so you see how much you have?
Yep.
This is part of your problem. I think you could have killed her if you play it just right. I'm gonna slow this down and see what you did exactly.
I definitely thought I could.
No, you can. I just want to see what you did wrong. You did something wrong, so I'm gonna slow it down and like. Items, LeBlanc 6-2. Okay. I think she hits you with the chains, but you jump in, you hit the minion, you hit another minion, and then you hit her. Damn. So that changed the outcome a lot, see? Alright? So you smack the minions twice. You jump 2. She's gonna probably have her W coming. You hit the wrong one. You don't really know for sure. But, by then, it's too little too late, and then you get punked. I hate Heck Room.
I do too. That was such bullshit.
I know, man. So, fuck Heck Room. But,
Damn.
you know, just remember, you'll get better mechanically. You'll get better at not hitting minions and all that shit. You'll be thinking more about it as you're jumping in. Like, just you can prime your attacks. You know that, right? Like.
Yeah, I was using attack moves, so I was kind of confused.
Not attack move.
What?
Just prime your initial like attack. Like just click on her. Don't overthink it. Just you know jump in. Don't spam right click. Just be calm about it. It's gonna make things go a lot smoother for you.
Okay.
Because I imagine you were just spamming your fucking right click.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone does that when they're newer. Yeah. It's standard. You'll get better at it. Wow. Look at this Thresh, dude. A living legend.
He's hanging on.
A living legend, dude. Confident is all get up. That def's very important, by the way. And that also hammers home why I think split pushing is key. Okay? You group as a split pusher, you fuck up, you throw your lead, you relieve the entire map of your presence. You have this insane presence as Jax. By not dying. Same as Tryndamere. Jax is the better Tryndamere. Jax is the real split pusher. Okay, Jax is like, I don't know of a champion that split push better than Jax right now. That's just fact. Okay, he's the king. So, if you're not split pushing, if you're just randomly fighting people, yeah, we could kill that LeBlanc. But do we really need to? Is my question. No. I always think bear down on turrets, force people to come to you, isolate using the mini-map, and then figure out, like, okay, there's 3 bottom. All right, there's probably, like, 1, maybe 2 here, and I can 2v1, possibly. Or just get out. And then once you've pulled people to the top, you get out, you back, you run in, you kill some people, and then you go right back to split pushing. That's how you manage split push better. But I never like how you roamed from... When you find yourself doing, I'm just going to go mid for some reason... You better have a damn good reason, like a damn good argument for why you're doing it. So here, LeBlanc's just getting out of line. She's never going to kill you there, and you're just going to lifesteal back up. So she's just wasting her time. That's good that you try to turn back in on her, though. Because she should not be there.
Yeah, I was just going to punish her. If she came under tower, she was going to take some shots.
Yeah, she can't kill you under tower. It's just not going to happen. Alright, so let's look at what you do here. Do. Where are you going?
Yeah, I don't know.
What are you afraid of?
I think I was like, yeah, fuck that LeBlanc.
What, because you died once? You're like, I don't want to go near. Look at how much pressure. Like, there's no pressure on the map right now because you're doing this.
Yeah.
Look at it, dude. Look at it in horror as you meander through the wolves. So, okay. Fight comes out. Your team gets shit on. Oh, here's the other thing. How good do you think your team's doing mentally in this game right now?
Oh, I'm thinking, holy crap, my team's getting wrecked.
You're thinking my team, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, my team, though, is another argument for why you split. If you're behind and your team's raping, you group. And you just CC for them and, like, engage for them and let them do the rest, right?
Yeah.
If you're the ban, you carry by splitting. So, again, walking down to mid, not so good. As soon, let's back up to where you did, like, this I'm the gentle Jax thing, and, like, you fucking bail, right? You're just like, oh, it's a LeBlanc? It's a bitch with a stick. Like, I'm out. And you just... Hold on. Right here. So you, like, see her... But I'm not entirely sure what you're afraid of. So we have items. You have cutlass. You're doing the weird Hextech revolver thing. I mean, I don't think that's necessary, but you know, if while you're playing Jax, you get your builds. You do whatever's most comfortable for you. As long as someone who's good is doing it, then I don't care. But when you see her, you should be like, okay, and you should walk right into golems, right in front of her. You should just walk in front of her and go right into golems. Belt, pick your golems. I'm serious. Okay. The reason why is, let me explain more split pushing to you, okay? So the whole concept of split pushing is you're saying to the other team, I can be here and you can't do anything about it. Like, let that sink in. Let that sink in. You're saying to them, I can be right in this spot, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it because I've got the biggest penis that as soon as you come up here, I'm either going to kill you or I'm going to get away. There is no, I'm not going to die. That is all split pushing is. You are literally telling the other team, as cocky as can be, that I can be in places that are just extremely arrogant, and there's not a damn thing that you can do to stop me.
I love that. That's hilarious.
That's exactly split pushing,
dude. Huge statement.
It's exactly what split pushing is. Like, I promise you. That's the meta game, okay? That's what's happening under the hood when you're facing a split pusher. He's telling everyone on the map, including his team, he's saying, I can be here and I won't die. And so the other team is going to try to come up with a way. It's a game of cat and mouse. They're going to try to come up with a way to catch you. So either you're going to kill them 2v1, or you're going to be like, yeah, you're right. And then you're just going to back away when they try to catch you. You're just going to jump. You're going to use your Q to jump away. It's on your judgment. This is how you're going to climb. Is you're going to know this meta game and this mini game, this little battle, better than everyone else because you're going to be playing Jax and split pushing all the time. So you're going to know, if is it just LeBlanc, I'm going to jump on her head and stun her and smack her in the mouth and then run away. Right? Because you're going to be sending a message like, I'm going to eventually kill this LeBlanc, hit this turret, or take jungle camps, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it. And that puts a timer on the other team. That makes them go, oh fuck, we got to push because we can't stop this fucking guy. Because that's really what happens is like they can't. The place that you're in right now, there's not a person in the room that can fight you. Not even though they're fed. Maokai's fed, he can't fight you. Hecarim's fed, he can't fight you right now. You are the biggest person in the room, no one can fight you. They can only 2v1 you. So why would you ever want to be down here, right?
That's true, yeah. I guess I was scared that I was going to get 2v1.
So you run down, and you're like, I'm going to fight some scuttles, I'm going to fight. Your team's going to die because they're bad. It's inevitable. And what you should be telling this guy, your friend here, is you should be hide in turret and wave clear.
Yeah.
And, you know, either he does or he doesn't. And sometimes you'll just lose because people just get caught way too easily. But the idea is if you were pushing top, they would not be caught as much. Remember that. If you're up here...
running after me, probably.
Yeah, yep. If you're up here, Then and you're carrying by keeping them around you because you're delaying the game. And you look at your team. You have Caitlyn. You can come back with Caitlyn. You can come back with Kindred late game, Malzahar late game. You can come back. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be how long can you keep the game afloat and pressure turrets. That's all it's about. So they do Baron. This is pretty much game, in my opinion, once they get Baron for free. But that is... Again, I'm hammering this home to you. That's a failure on your part for not being up here. Because if you're up here, you delay the game. You can keep a game alive. You see me do Tryndamere, probably. Right?
Yeah.
You keep a game alive for a long fucking time by surviving up here. So that's on you. It's not on you that they're dying and being noobs. But it's on you that you're not making a scenario that's really frustrating for your opponents and your lead for them to deal with. You're not using that lead in a way that really frustrates them and brings them to you. Alright. So, if you're going to team fight, I probably would have looked for something right back here. I would have tried to blow up that Vayne. Or at least get him to ult. You don't have to jump in. You don't have to jump in with the intent to, like, I'm gonna die.
Right.
You can jump in and just be like, I'm going to jump in, smack the shit out of this guy, and get him to panic, and then I'm just going to run away. Because if you get him to ult and fear and, like, tumble back and then just jump away, you made the fight a lot easier long term.
Okay.
But you had the brush, so they're not going to react well to that. The other thing is you got to think about, like, human reaction speed. They obviously don't have that warded, right, when you were standing there?
Yep.
Just the way they moved. So you know that when you jump out and stun 3 of them, there's a chance that Hecarim just freaks out and ults over the wall and does all sorts of shit, and Vayne, like, ult tumbles, and then you just pop your ult and run away. And then you've pretty much, like, made a good trade, and you're delaying this push, which the goal with Baron is to delay them from taking objectives with it. If you can survive a Baron push, you pretty much won versus Baron, in my opinion.
That makes sense.
So now, since they've obviously seen you, I wouldn't engage there. Okay, good. So now you've denied that push. You should be helping with the waves unless I don't know where you're going. This is obviously it's not going anywhere. You should be helping shove this wave out since they're all topside. Let me explain more clearly. So if they decide to regroup and push again with Baron, you don't want them making these minions Baron minions. So when they get near the minions, they're Baron minions, right? So when they're not near these and they have Baron, you want these gone now. Does that make sense?
Yep. Deny them the minions so they can buff. That makes sense.
Yeah. So as soon as they realize that they have Baron, if any one of these guys are smart, they can just walk up and be like, we're going to be annoying with Baron buff in this next round of minions, and they can just sit there and siege with it. You want as soon as they disappear, you walk up and clear them so they can't change their mind and come back and siege. Same holds true here. Pushing out this as fast as possible. Obviously, you're there right now, but I'm just saying everyone on the team should be collectively looking for waves to push because they have Baron and you don't want them pushing with Baron minions. So this whole team should be like trying to find waves to push. Alright.
Yeah.
Notice how you've been grouping a lot and abandoning what makes you good. Now, I will actually... I'm sorry. I'm saying that, but you're fine. You're fine to not be splitting first Baron, okay? So, that's fine. So, as long as they have Baron...
because I didn't...
Yeah. But now they have it, so whatever. You're fine to stay near your team, because splitting versus Baron's not really a good idea unless you really know the timings of how fast people can push, because they will shred your shit so fast. Okay, so you get chunked down. I would probably think back and reset. Your Caitlyn's an idiot. Honestly, you're kind of being an idiot there, because once they show up with Baron minions, you can't really be there. Right. Now that I look at this again. So here's the Baron minions, right? And you get way close. You're here, you're here, you're here. You're going forward. As soon as LeBlanc shows up, you jump away. Back your ass up. Because as soon as she shows up, she's going to want that trade. Put yourself in her position. She has 5 or 6 Baron range creeps plus a Maokai plus a bunch of Baron creeps coming, and she's LeBlanc. As soon as you see her character, you just jump away. You just leave. There's nothing good that's going to happen for you. You're not going to be able to engage because they have Baron. You're not going to be able to catch LeBlanc because it's LeBlanc. And normally, when someone shows up, that means they're all there. Because they're not just pushing on their own normally.
Right.
So you know, no one should really be too far up there, and they just get hard engaged on. Now you don't really have wave clear. At this point, I'd be saying we need to give away the, and your positioning reflects that sort of. But you need to give the inhib. But you should be in your fountain getting your health back because there's nothing that you can do. Because once they die, this is gone. So you can strike this. You can be like, okay, those are gone. Accept it. I can't fight here. You are going to look to fight here now. If they keep pushing. Which they might not. So, they come down. You try to get something done. But, let's talk about the mechanics of this. As they get closer. So, you pull Maokai to you. That's great. I wouldn't jump in here. Okay, so watch how you jump in. What you should be doing is you should be, as soon as he jumps to you, bait the health bar of these.
Okay.
So use your turrets. You're not going to win this. Right? We can both agree that you're not going to win this.
Yeah.
The idea is you are making them decide on decide on whether or not they can kill you or not. So if you get them to try to commit to you and then run back and heal and come back out, they're going to tank a lot of damage because of the turrets, and then you're going to buy time for your team. The goal in these situations, the clutch goal, is to buy enough time for your team as humanly possible, and you're going to give up turrets because they're too stupid to stay alive, okay? They're stupid enough to die in the lane here. You are now using your objectives as a shield to get them back onto the field and then to wipe them from the map and then hopefully make a push of your own. That's the goal.
Okay.
Alright, so when you jump in, notice, you jump in, you commit. That means they definitely kill you. You get a shutdown, which is cool, I guess. But they definitely are going to kill you, and now you can't mount like a team defense. Your team is all going to run out of base here. At least Caitlyn and Thresh. They're all going to run out of base. They're going to have a Thresh with a flash exhaust, Caitlyn with flash shield. If you bait them into going on you, and then you live, and then you get to come back out with all of them and your healths back, you can wipe this team. Because everyone's bot on your team. So they have an advantage now. And the health bars. Look at the health bars. You'll have the advantage. You might die again. Your team might come out of base and just die again. But that's a better option than whatever this is, right?
That's true, yeah. It's like
So
the only way at that point.
Yeah, you're baiting the health bars of your objectives to ensure, and trust me, this scenario that you're seeing, when you're playing Jax, you're going to be a lot of late game scenarios, buddy. So this is not just me fluffing for the lesson.
Right.
These are real scenarios that you're going to have to deal with. You are going to get the team that while you're split pushing, because you didn't split push much this game, we already talked about that, but you're going to get the team where when you split push, you're down to like an inhib, or you've broken an inhib, but now this is happening. They've got an inhib, and it's like 5v2. Your team's raging at you or whatever, but they don't understand that you're like the only thing keeping the game afloat. That like this same scenario is going to happen, I can assure you. So it's going to be on you to bait these turrets, the health bars, in order to create a scenario for your team to come off of spawn, and then you're trying to wipe these guys off the map, get all the XP and gold, and then make a push of your own, pushing out mid primarily, and getting space to farm up. Because look, your team's bots, dude.
Yeah.
Just struggle busting it, dude. Nice hook, though. Now imagine if you were there with that push out, though.
Oh, they'd probably all be dead.
Yep.
Team's inhibitor has been destroyed. Blue team's turret has
All right.
been destroyed.
Let's fast forward a bit. Item build looks okay. I like Blade of the Rune King, but you didn't split much, so I would say that this build is probably better for for team fighting, to be honest, if you're trying to blow someone up. But I like Blade of the Ruined King because you can use the move speed active, and you can use that to secure kills when people try to run away, or you can use it to run away when you're getting chased up top. So
Yeah, I'm gonna try that out some more. I was kind of just testing it out.
yeah, I don't really know about Gunblade yet. I haven't used it much, but I just know what works. You know what I mean? I know it works for splitting.
Right. I think.
I mean, honestly, if you can reliably dive someone with that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, up in a split push scenario, if because of that item it allows you to dive someone, and I mean theoretically it does slow someone, it just doesn't speed you up.
Right.
So you know, pros and
I
cons.
think
I
of
guess.
the revolver as like it's like a sheen with like a longer cooldown.
Yeah.
Just 'cause how much burst damage you can do.
Yeah, you might be right. I mean, it might be a good item for you. You might find that it's that it's standard, and I'm just stupid. But yeah, your team's getting wrecked. Where are you this whole time? Good, you're trying to peel, but you're a little late on your stun. Hector's got fucking QSS and shit, just running over your team. Late exhaust. Okay.
It's pretty much over at this point.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So, all right. I think that is a pretty good explanation, so to speak, as to why when your team's losing, you don't just group. When your team's losing, remember always when your team's losing, fuck that. Honestly, I say fuck that as long as you're winning your lane, you split. It's just better in lower elo. It's better. You'll win more. You'll master the art of like carrying games from a split push perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And you really should only group if you're the weak link on your team and you've fallen way far behind. Then I would recommend push your lanes and then group. And then, build some tank items and just try to CC and let your team carry you. If they want you to group, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because at that point, you don't really have a leg to stand on. Like, oh, I should just split because fuck them. If they're like carrying, if they're like dominating, say you've got a bot lane that's like 10-2 or something, and you're like 0-3, just getting dove over shit on over and over again. That would be the time where I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna follow my top lane around, and if he groups, then I group. That's pretty much it. YouTube, thank you so much for watching this. I'm probably gonna play a dynamic queue game with my buddy here. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope it helps you understand split pushing a little bit better and top lane a little bit better. And if you like this video, I'm out. Peace crackers.